Darlings, dearests, and dreamways, wherever the story finds you, I trust it finds you well. Hello? Is there someone there? Hello? Who are you? Step into the glow line, please. The glow line? But there is no glow. A glowing light appeared as if by a switch, pooling across the black floor in an emerald green phosphorescence. Step in. Step into the glow line, please. Basil pulled Flora close, her hand tight in his as she tugged towards the glow. No, darling. Look, we can't just present ourselves for this whatever this is. We have no idea what it could be. We can't very well just stand around here in the dark all day either. Perhaps we can borrow a light. Flora tugged again. Darling. I can hear you now. Step into the glow so I may catch the loaf of both of you. There are 2 of you, aren't there? Or perhaps only one. One indecisive character caught between fear and fancy. Yes. Step into the glow and let me name you. Come on, darling. Yes, there are 2 of us, and one of you. Please, something awfully rotten seems to have happened, and we found ourselves, well, here. Where are we? Well, you are there, aren't you? Only you're not in the glow and currently elsewhere from where I wished you to be. Do you see? Flora squeezed Basil's hand and led him slowly out into the green glow. All right, well, we're in the glow, and now perhaps you might step in and meet us? I am the glow. The glow is me. We are one and the same, all forever shining, so others may see. A loud clang echoed through the pitch, and the glow vanished. Darling, it's clearly someone fooling around with a torch. This is ridiculous. I am the glow. Now, Basil, stop it. I know that, but he does have a light, and that's more than we have at this time. Glowman, do you think you might offer just a little more glow? We are very keen to be getting on. You don't even believe me. I heard what you were saying, spinning all kinds of grubbies about me. Now listen here, Glowman. Basil, look, do you see that tiny little glowing light over there? Looks like a firefly or a Christmas tree light. Mr. Glowman, I beg you, would you please be so kind as to glow for us just once more? Tell me your names, and if I trust you aren't lying. We won't lie, I promise. And you promise no more grubbies at my expense. Of course. My name is Flora, and this is my husband, Basil Curious. Step into the glow line, please. The couple watched as the once tiny glow grew and spread like morning mist, creeping through the dark and turning all it touched from black to green. Bare walls ran endless and threatening up into the murky dark either side, and beneath this softer light lay not only the terrifying reality, but the source of this almighty illumination. Just a little over 12 feet away, and partially obscured by the glare, a small figure stood clutching what appeared to be some kind of glow stick or cable. Stunned by the vast expanse of unknown that surrounded them, Basil and Flora stood speechless, slack-jawed and dizzy. You do not look right to me. What are you? I shall know if you're lying, so don't. We're Strangers seldom cross the line here, and yet strangers you are clear to be. If you were sent by that awful man to spy and snatch, he's done a wretched job at hiding you. No, even he isn't that silly. So what are you? My name is Basil Curious, and this is my wife Flora. Can you show us how to get out of here? What is this place? This place is called the Line, and I'm afraid I do not know of any way past, beyond, or out of it. But we have no idea how we got here. Through the Hevel. That is how anyone as long as ever is coming to be in one way or another. The Hevel? Do you really know nothing of the coming or going of life? All life comes through the Hevel. We awake as orphans to the Line, silent keepers of the Hevel's own spark. Together we survive. Alone, Alone we are nothing. We are vulnerable, taken, and often we are burned. Burned? Yes, well, you are not the only things that claim to be other than what they are. In the far reaches of the line, an evil grows. Evil? He is king of the corner and consumed by unthinkable desires. We have lost many to his thirst for life beyond the Hevel, and I fear we will lose many more. But the Hevel is, I don't... Look, we really shouldn't stand around here much longer. It isn't safe. If you'd like, I'll take you back to the town, and perhaps the council might have something to say. At the very least, we can find someone else to accelerate your history education. Agreed? Agreed. Thank you, Glowman. One other thing. My name is not Glowman. My name is Skirmit. Oh, well, a pleasure, Skirmit, a pleasure. To the line, please. With that, Flora and Basil linked arms reassuringly and followed Skirmit, with his glow stick thrust to the shadows, off into the unknown dark. Frank studied the movement of a young robin as she swayed and zigzagged the garden. With a slow, long yawn, he stretched and rolled out the sleep from his tail, scratching his claws across the wooden tabletop where he lay. Morning sun had lit up the fallen rain like 1,000 eyes peering back at their observer. Frank hopped from the table edge and made a few hopeful breakfast steps towards the cat flap at the back door. With one paw pressed to the flap, Frank turned and looked back towards the sunny garden. My, a morning to wake the love in even the most sorry of souls. L'amour et la lumière que vous parlez. A day older, I might have missed this. A day younger, and I'd never have known. Such beauty, free for all to behold, as from parent to child, an unfettered love, pure and infinite, and to my own beginnings, the love that kept me safe here, from a whisker to a smile. Is there really any life that cannot love beneath such heavenly fortune? I ask only...
Frank. Any chance you could take the poems inside? I'm trying to train the boys how to worm here, and well, you're boring the words back into the ground. I don't want to be a dick, but this is a common area, not a stage.
Ah, of course. My apologies, Huckleberry. It's time for breakfast anyway. Give my love to the boys. Frank watched as Huckleberry Robin flew off back across the garden to meet his 3 young and eager boys lined up beside the log shed. Tail to the sun, he stepped through the cat flap and into the kitchen. With the blinds closed, the kitchen was fairly dim and perhaps strangely so. Though not immediately acknowledged by Frank, there were no other lights on at all, not even a glow from the stovetop display. Frank trotted through the kitchen towards his bowl, a silver dish with Kitty written in purple on the side. He wasn't fond of the label, but he never made a fuss. Basil and Flora would typically set Frank's food aside before they left for work each morning. Often he'd be there waiting, snaking around their legs as they came downstairs. This morning, however, they were nowhere to be seen. What was perhaps more troubling to Frank, though, was the reflection of a middle-aged, disgruntled cat peering back at him, not the delicious breakfast this otherwise beautiful sunny morning deserved. Perhaps they're running a little behind this morning. I'll just nip up and see if I might rouse them. Frank made a dash for the stairs, slowing to a stop at the very last one. From the top 2 steps he was able to see straight between the pickets, through an open door into Basil and Flora's bedroom. Seeing the bedroom door wide open like this was a concern Frank instantly swallowed. He crept the last stair and moved silently towards the room, his grey fur bristling like a madman's beard. Though he knew the truth a good few moments before facing it, the disappointment to find an unmade empty bed, with no sight of his human family anywhere to be seen, was deeply upsetting. Frank hopped up onto the bed and looked out at the garden through the bedroom window. He could see Huckleberry and his boys hunting for worms in the wet grass, and for a moment he thought back to when birds were fair game. As a younger cat, Frank had often stalked birds. They were, in all fairness, delicious. Sadly, though, having gotten to know a few over the years, Frank couldn't bring himself to do it anymore. It just didn't feel right. These birds were his neighbours. How could he possibly butcher one, or perhaps 2 if they're small, and then carry on living as if nothing had happened? He couldn't, could he? I couldn't, could I? A loud ringing woke Frank from his reverie and sent him running for the kitchen. The house phone had always terrified Frank. There really didn't seem to be any good explanation for it, other than he just hated the sound. He hid beside an old pair of Flora's Wellington boots, stood at the edge of a shoe rack by the back door, and waited for the phone to stop. Peering up at the kitchen counter, Frank could see the cupboard from which Flora would take his food each morning. The cupboard door was slightly ajar, as in fact it always was. The couple had reused a large variety chocolate tin to store cat biscuits for Frank, but it was too big for the cupboard and the door never fully closed. Beneath the cupboard, Frank observed the kitchen toaster had been pushed all the way to the counter's edge with the cable taut to the wall. This would make any effort to open the door and remove his breakfast safely extremely tricky. "I'll have to be very careful. They could be back any moment, and I'm certain they would not approve. Best be quiet." With the phone now silent, Frank crept across the floor, sprang for the countertop, and made his way towards the cupboard. A few spilled coffee beans initially caught his eye. They didn't smell terrific, so he decided they were an absolute last resort. Crouched beside the toaster, Frank fixed his eyes upon the cupboard door. He knew that one slight slip would send the food falling from its shelf, causing all kinds of mess and bother. He would need to exercise a faultless degree of feline balance and stability, something a younger Frank would have seen effortlessly executed with a song. The present-day Frank, however, was a little more hesitant and paralyzed in an anxious pause. Suddenly, the phone rang a second time. The shock, electric and triggering to Frank, sent his right paw forward in an involuntary swipe, catching the toaster's cable and pulling the plug from its socket. Heart in a furious fist, Frank leapt to the floor and made for the Wellington boots, his eyes wide and wild, his fur bristled from neck to tail. Cowering against the muddy rubber, he hid and listened as the phone rang into voicemail.
Good day, Basil. This is Nigel. Just wanted to check in, really, as we haven't seen you at school today. I hope everything's all right. Don't worry, we've got your classes covered. You're right there. Funnily enough, Roger's MIA today too. Must be something going round. You guys didn't tie one on last night, did you? Where was my invite? No, only joking. I hope you're all right, mate, and resting up. Get well soon, eh?
Basil and Flora had been following Skirmit for what seemed like an entire day. They were spared little time to contemplate their predicament, as Skirmit ran a relentless reel of rules, cautionary measures and warnings of life on the line. Still having little to no idea what exactly the line was, where or how any of this happened, the couple listened closely.
And so the devil sinks once per day, bringing with it a great spark. This spark is the only source of light throughout the entire kingdom. Without it, there would be no light, and there would be no life. Tell me, if you are truly from some elsewhere place, do you have a hevel?
Well, actually it's funny because it sounds awfully like,
Get down! Say nothing. Stick close and follow me.
What's going on?
I said say nothing. Quick, over here. We must be as the shadows, silent and still. We must not be seen, or we will be taken.
Well, no. I mean, I've performed in my spare time, around the house. But I've never been and done it with an audience before. Not like the kind of productions Peter Sleece puts on at the Weekly Collective. But I'm keen to improve it, hone my skills, master my craft, and, maybe one day I could perform with the collective. Well, I admire you. You gotta do what you love. I've often thread the idea of becoming a dancer. I'm a very delicate mover, me, but it's a confidence thing. Do you really? Wow. How fascinating. I'd never had you down as a Tobin. You should follow it up. Go for it.
Who is Peter Sleece? Peter Sleece is the king of the corner, and those are two of his men. They're cedars. How can they see anything? They have no light. They don't need it. They know the line better than most. Any light would only reveal them to those they hunt and stalk. And who is that? Us.
What was that? Did you hear that? No, I didn't hear anything. Over there. There's something over there. There's someone here. Someone's hiding from us. Where are you? Come out now.
Wolf oranges. Wherever you go, we'll get there. Okay. Okay, I think we've lost him. Oh, that was close. Oh,
What was that noise?
ah, yes, well, that was me, or rather, my sparkler. It keeps falling out of the holster, and I've almost lost it twice. I'm sorry.
That's okay, we're safe now. And those rotten cedars, did you call them?
Cedars, yes.
They take people. They do. Good gosh, well, I'm glad to see the back of them then. How much further to the town?
We're almost there. You can't see it.
With the greatest respect, Skirmit, old boy, we can't see anything, save a few yards ahead in a sort of murky glow.
And that? You don't see that?
Basil squeezed Flora's hand impatiently while Flora scoured the black for any sign of anything that might resemble a town. Oh, wait a minute. That blue light over there, is that... What is that?
I told you, that's the town.
But surely that's not a town. That looks like just one light to me.
Oh dear. You two truly are very strange. Come on, let's get going.
But, Skirmit, that's
A town, yes, come on. I've had enough hooliganizing for one day.
Basil, Flora, and Skirmit slowly approached the mysterious light. A few yards away, they identified one single blue light bolted approximately 5 feet high to an otherwise featureless wall. Skirmit shuffled ahead and stood beneath the light in a pool of electric blue. With his sparkler fully holstered, he called,
To the crumbs of every loaf and the crusts that bind us near, to the edges of the line and the dark divine frontier, a spark to light your neighbor, a truth to call a friend, we name the sightless set apart, together until the end.
An awkward silence claimed the moments that followed as the couple watched on in a short, confused goggle. Skirmit appeared oblivious to the eyes that studied him. He said nothing and remained impossibly still, a small yet portly figure, veiled in blue light and surrounded by shadow. Basil was just about to question when the troubling silence broke and Skirmit vanished. Skirmit! Skirmit! Where are you? Skirmit! Where on earth could he have gone? I honestly don't know. Skirmit!
Are you coming? Goodness me, you two are frightfully strange. Come on now.
But, well, where are you?
I'm over here by the door. Come along.
Skirmit, we cannot see a thing. Would you mind lighting your sparkler for us, just as a slight guide? Yes, thank you, Skirmit. Come along, dear, let's go. Basil and Flora walked towards the familiar green glow of Skirmit's sparkler, just a few feet away from the blue light. Skirmit received them at a small, heavy door set into the wall and hurried them inside. But the light, why were you standing there?
I didn't want to stand around in the dark unnecessarily.
But why isn't there a light above the door?
There is, it's broken.
And the poem? The what? The poem. You said something back there. It sounded like a poem. I don't know what a poem is, but that was a key. Anything else? No, I think that just about covers it. As the couple stepped through the door, each one felt the other tense at the sight that met them on the other side. Rows of flat-topped dinky buildings with porthole window doors, swallowed in a mess of snaking wires like ancient jungle vines twisting through and around the townscape. Long cables rising up from the ground like lampposts with electric blue tips lined a winding street that burrowed through the center. Either side, crowds of vocal figures stood and crowed beneath the thick, dusty air, while others passed in a swift, solitary silence, just like the very shadows they moved between. And somewhere in all of this, Basil and Flora found themselves totally lost.
This is Hevelton Center. Stick with me and stay close. The eyes that follow you are of surprise, not threat, but we haven't the time to stop. Is there somebody there? Anyone? It's just, I think I'm in a slightly uncomfortable position here, and well, I can't see a spot no creeper light. Hello? Hello? I've got enough pennies here for a pint if you catch me, but I can't move my hands. Perhaps if I scrunch my face a few times over, I might be able to shift this blinder. No, that's done nothing.
Ah, are those footsteps to my aid? Basil, is that you? I haven't the foggiest what happened. I don't remember a damn thing. Ah, yeah, but if you could maybe get my hands first. No, all right, fine. But okay, start with the blinder. Loosen it for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, almost there. Thank you. Yeah, wait a second. Wait. You!